So 3 days ago, I made a post, which you can see right here, basically kind of showing this picture of all these different Ableton sessions that are open at the same time. And basically, this is a feature that only works on Windows. In Ableton 12, I think even 11 did this too, but you could essentially open up as many instances of Ableton as your computer can handle. And so I did this. I shared this picture. I had no idea that people were commenting. There was like 66 comments, 233 likes, whatever. Never gotten that kind of engagement on Threads. Matter of fact, that's why I didn't even check Threads for the last 3 days, because I just kind of ignored it. But for whatever reason, I popped it open this morning and I was like, oh my gosh, like there's all these comments. And so I started going through the comments and stuff like that. And I just started cracking up because a lot of people were just like, well, this is photoshopped, or this isn't real, or you're just lying about it. I particularly love this one guy's comment where he was basically saying something along the lines of like, oh, you're the kind of producer that just puts out stuff really fast, so all your songs must sound like trash. And yeah, I mean, it's just kind of funny to like look at the different excitement, the different people that were talking trash or whatever, the people that didn't believe it was real, but it is very real. You can literally open up on Windows 10 at least, or 12 or 11, Windows 11. You can open up Ableton, and there's a feature specifically in the preferences where you can go and it says allow multiple instances. Now, I looked up how to do this on Mac. It doesn't work. There's no available option to do that, but it is completely possible within Live 12. And just to kind of give some context around why I think this workflow is important to me and why I think it's beneficial, I personally don't like opening Ableton and then, especially if I just need to do a couple of edits to a track, I click on it and it takes 5 minutes to load. A lot of my projects are pretty heavy. They have like 200 tracks sometimes. And, I have a pretty powerful computer. So I was just like, well, why not just like open up several sessions? And so I opened one, and then I opened another, and then I started opening more and more and more and more and more. And I opened up like 12 of them, and my computer wasn't crashing because I wasn't playing them all at the same time. I would just have them open in the background and they would be working fine. And so I started realizing, well, this is a new workflow for me, because basically what I can do is I can go into every single one of these project files, do little edits if I need to, especially, I've been working on a DJ mix for the last couple of months with all original music. My goal is to have a 1 hour mix of all these tracks that, I can later share with like the fans or whatever. And all these songs are, essentially in the same key anyways, because I'm doing a whole set in B minor or in B or G minor. I don't remember. And so being able to go into each one of these sessions quickly and then hearing how they sound in context with the other ones is a huge time saver, because basically what it does is, if it takes me 3 to 5 minutes to open up an Ableton session and I'm opening 10 of them, that's 30 minutes or 50 minutes, depending on, whatever of time that I'm saving overall. So the fact that people, want to talk trash on this workflow, or that they don't believe it, just kind of goes to show that, people once again just don't look for the best possible options in terms of like their production workflow. And to me, I'm all about speed and efficiency. That doesn't mean that I sacrifice quality for it, but it does mean that like if I'm going to save myself 30 to 50 minutes a day having to open 10 different sessions just to go and do a couple of minor adjustments to EQ or to the kick or to the low end so that my entire hour mix sounds great, then why not do that? But, there's obviously always going to be haters, and I think it's amazing that people think it's photoshopped or that it's not true, but it is true. If you have Windows, go try it out right now. Go to your preferences, click on, allow multiple instances. It's a great workflow. Honestly, it's changed my life. I know a lot of people have said that like, oh, Bitwig does this too, and I use Bitwig quite a bit. But the problem is that a lot of these sessions, I started in Ableton using very specific racks, which I use. And some of those racks do not open well in Bitwig whatsoever. So, it wasn't like they were a pretty big part of my workflow in terms of like the transitions, the uplifters, the risers and stuff like that. So it wasn't really something that I could just go in and like port to Bitwig, because Bitwig does have that capability where you can have, almost like Chrome tabs of multiple different project files, and you just activate the engine for each one. But, the cool thing about Ableton is you don't actually have to activate anything. Once the project is open and you press stop on one of your files or one of your sessions, you can go into the other one and play it right away. You don't have to go and activate. So in some ways, that's kind of a better workflow than Bitwig, because with Bitwig, if you want to play multiple sessions, you still have to deactivate one of the engines on that project file. Then you go to the next one, and then you activate it. So that can take about 3 to 5 minutes. So in a sense, you're not saving the time in the sense that I'm trying to save time. But yeah, anyways, I just wanted to share that because I was kind of floored that this got so much reception, and I never intended for this particular post to go viral. And to be honest, I really don't know what Threads likes or doesn't likes in terms of engagement or content, but I do see like a heavy music production crowd on there. Every time I go, it's literally just filled with tips and tricks and people talking about the music industry, which to me personally gets pretty old after a while. But I do like going on there occasionally to see people giving like really solid advice on mixing tips. And that's usually what I use Threads for, honestly, is just to kind of go on there and see what people are saying about their processes and their techniques. And so, yeah, anyways, this has been a long rant. And but I just wanted to share some context on that because I thought it was pretty funny.